Hi everybody, those of you new to the channel, I'm Teresa Perrin and I want to discuss MULN, the institutional buying, and an overall update going into this week. Please remember to smash that like button, I'd greatly appreciate it. And nothing I say is financial advice, always do your own DD. Let's get started. Alright guys, so MULN was pretty much flat all day on Friday. It was down 0.0042 of a cent, and after hours, it made up for that essentially because it was slightly up. So anyways, the volume was very low compared to normal on Friday, which we haven't seen for a while. The normal volume is 151.45 million, and it was under that, 128.12 million. Now, the 52-week low is 0.21 cents and a 52-week high of $11.79. There's quite a large float on MULN, 309.65 million. I do want to bring to your attention that we did get a bullish signal on Friday. So this was a moving average crossover. So despite very little movement, it's quite interesting to see that that popped up. Now, Ken Griffin's Citadel just bought MULN stock again. Citadel owns a small trading stake in MULN. Citadel Advisors is back into troubled electric vehicle player MULN Automotive. The hedge fund latest listing of holdings filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, aka the SEC, shows the firm with about 1.42 million shares of MULN. Citadel also has call and put options on MULN stock, hedging it against price moves up or down. The firm previously disclosed the sale of 532,000 shares in its August report. So interestingly enough, guys, after selling, they have now bought back in, which has to make you wonder, have we found our bottom? Also, MULN this article came out from Investor Palace. It says, MULN stock fans, mark your calendar for November 30th. Now, this comes from Eddie Pan, and I just want to let you know, I think he's pretty bearish from the articles he writes on MULN. So this might be a potential setup article with him hoping that it doesn't go through so he can come down and basically criticize MULN for not completing this. But what it says is MULN could potentially deliver Class 2 cargo vans to Delpak Logistics by November 30th. The order would be at the request of Delpak. So as we know, well, this actually goes into something else, which I found interesting. So let's start with this. And this is why I think that he's trying to set MULN up to write a bearish article following this. So EV company MULN issued a series of proposals this week to be voted on at its special meeting of stockholders on December 23rd. These include a reverse stock split in the ratio between 1-for-2 and 1-for-25, and an increase in authorized shares from 1.75 billion to 5 billion. Representing an increase of 185%. This share consolidation would help MULN regain the minimum $1 bid price required to stay listing on the NASDAQ and to be included in the Russell 2000 and Russell 3000 indices. Sorry, I think I skipped something. Nope. Oh, yeah. MULN has until March 6th to regain compliance with the NASDAQ, although it's eligible to file another 180 calendar day extension on that day if MULN stock still trades under $1 per share. So guys, this is very important because I want you to know that even though they're voting on a reverse stock split now, this is a just-in-case scenario. And as we know from what David last did, it doesn't matter what shareholders vote. He ultimately has the say in this, so it's essentially a courtesy. But we have until March 6th to regain compliance, and then we have an additional 180 calendar day extension that MULN can file for. So in my thoughts, why would David Michery want to dilute if he doesn't have to, right? So could a reverse stock split happen? Yes, it could, but will it? I think there's some room here. But the other issue is that they need to regain compliance by rank day in May in order to be included again on the Russell indices. So depending on how important it is to MULN to be included, in the Russell 2000 and Russell 3000, if they need to, they may invoke the reverse split in order to meet this compliance. We shall see what happens, guys. It's really hard to say in either direction which way it will go. Now, back to the bullish start of the article we were talking about. Back in July, MULN announced it has signed a binding agreement with Delpak Logistics, an Amazon delivery partner that operates last-mile delivery services in Indiana. The agreement stated that Delpak would purchase up to 600 MULN Class 2 EV cargo vans over the next 18 months. These vans will be fully approved in the U.S. with a range of at least 200 miles per charge and a maximum payload of 3,296 pounds. MULN could deliver, I don't want to set anyone up for disappointment here, the first 300 vans of the order as soon as November 30th at the request of DPL. Which is Delpak Logistics. MULN and DPL did not disclose the financial terms of the agreement. This delivery would mark a significant milestone for MULN as it does not have any vehicles on the road yet. On top of that, Delpak's status as an Amazon delivery partner would certainly give the EV startup a reputation boost. Now, here's why I think that this writer is potentially trying to set up to write a hit piece on MULN. It says, still MULN has not yet issued any information as to whether or not DPL has requested the 300 vans. It would certainly look bad for MULN stock if Delpak backs out of the van order. That could imply that Delpak was dissatisfied with the vehicles upon further inspection. Now, I really don't see why they would back out when they've asked them to make specific changes to the vehicles. It doesn't sound like they're ready to back out to me. It sounds like they're trying to update it to the standards that they want. All right, now moving on to the next article. There's been quite a lot going on this week, guys. A lot of PR dropping. This is why I really think MULN's gearing up for a nice run. 5 investors are betting big on MULN stock. Bollinger Motors CEO and founder Robert Bollinger is the largest shareholder of MULN Automotive. Tracking institutional ownership is important as these large investors provide liquidity and support for stocks. During the third quarter, 97 13F filers reported owning MULN stock, an increase of 14 filers from the previous quarter. Again, very bullish. In total, these filers own 83.17 million shares of MULN stock, up from 33.81 million shares during quarter 2. Furthermore, the institutional put-call ratio sits at 0.44, which is down from 0.6. That's equivalent to 5.86 million puts and 13.38 million calls. So as you can see, that's more than double the amount of calls to puts, implying a bullish option stance. Now, these are the 5 biggest investors institutional-wise in MULN. Of course, we already started with Robert Bollinger, who is the CEO and founder of Bollinger Motors. He has 51.06 million shares, and he received all of the shares during the quarter 3 as party of a majority acquisition agreement. BlackRock, 26.28 million shares. BlackRock purchased 18.41 million shares during quarter 3. Vanguard, 22.60 million shares. They purchased 9.88 million shares during quarter 3. Geode Capital Management, 6.38 million. And they purchased 3.72 million shares during quarter 3. And Cube Research and Technologies, 5.03 million shares, which all were purchased in quarter 3. So guys, my point of sharing this with you is that it seems like a lot of investors are taking a bullish stance on MULN, which is important. You've got to follow the big money in your plays. So the short interest is insane right now. It's 43.09% with 0.83 days to cover, which good luck to them getting those shares in the amount of time, but who knows, anything's possible. The cost to borrow is about 5.5% right now. And the short volume ratio has been between 28.74 and 57.34%. Again, another stock with low volume, but high short volume ratio. Has to make you wonder, but I think it all had to do with the options. Now, failure to delivers, unfortunately, don't seem like they're going to come into play. As you can see, there's days where there was 0. So therefore, I think most of these have been covered by now. Maybe not towards the end, well, the very last day of the month, but we'll see as things start to progress if this can increase further. But guys, I do think that things are looking up for MULN, and I would be very surprised if we didn't start seeing a substantial move to the upside very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to smash that like button and have a great night.